the voice within. Everybody, I hope pray you felt that just now. And I hope and pray that you absolutely receive these blessings in so many forms. It's not an accident, my friends. It's not an accident that we're here at 6:44 in the Pacific time on a Sunday. This is a Father's Day. And that there is something moving once again. There's always something moving, whether we're in this service or not. But I do believe that there is something going on in the realms of the heart, and the heart opening and the spirit ushering in. And I'm going to pray right now for the person that may have just a billowing of sorts, a billowing that their heart is just on the brink of feeling that kind of opening. And maybe it's been so very long, maybe it's been a very long time that you have felt this dose of love. And I remember when we say love here, we're not talking about the Hallmark cards, these love songs. We are not talking about just any love. No, we're talking about a love that is, what do we say, the highest place, the highest order, the love that is in the highest realm. This highest realm love, I want you to all feel this if you can. Avail yourselves to it. If there's even just an inkling that you're feeling something stir in the soul, then please, my friends, please go for it. Go for it. Take a risk. Tonight, I want us all to take a risk. Take a risk and go into this place of magic. And wow, I stand corrected, because tonight I thought it was going to look like this, and I thought the talk might look like that. But now, as we moved in this place together, I realized, no, the magic that is love. The magic that is always love, the magic that always must be love. And again, please hear me when I say I am talking about a love that is of the highest. This is a love that is ineffable. You really can't define this. You really can't describe this. This is what this music that Leslie just sung and played for us is, when we heard her voice, the vibrato in her voice, and we went, whoa, what is that? What is that? Let that love be a healing balm. Let this descend upon our souls, and again, feel it. Maybe even touch your chest right now, touch your heart, or wherever maybe you need to have a healing. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's in your heart. Maybe it's in your power center. Maybe it's on your limbs. And receive this as the healing that it has been intended to be. There are no blockages in this place of love, in this magic of love. And this is not a heretical statement that I am saying. That's not in the intention. When I use the word magic, for some that might be a little scary, but this is because we are willing right now, right here at this vehicle called Revolution of Love, to go into the ethereal realms and to have an experience, to have, oh my goodness, a divine and a healing experience that is maybe unlike anything that we've had ever, or maybe in just a really long time, where you're like in that moment in your life, a de profundis moment, where you're just crying out, oh my God, out of the depths of despair. I can't go on. I can't. Maybe right now, instead, you feel this love of a God in the Most High, or just love of source, and you relinquish, you avail yourself to it. Let's avail ourselves to it. There are not always moments in life like this. I know some of you go unseen, or feeling unseen and feeling unheard, and you feel that, oh, that caught up in the rigmarole, oh, that isolation, that alienation. Oh, see, no, right here, right now, we recognize that it's something different. It's something different that we get to experience. Oh, yes, of course, it would be best if we were in the live space, wouldn't it? It would be a wondrous thing if we could be in the live space experiencing this energy together. And maybe if it were safe, and I emphasize, if it were safe to have an embrace with each other. But this is what we have. This is what we have. Amen. This is where it's at. Amen. And by God, thank you, God. Thank you, Goddess. Thank you, Source. Thank you, Love, that we have it. Thank you, God, that we get to even be here with each other in so many different ways, recognizing that all of us have so many different experiences of this marvelous journey that is life. Oh, feel it, my friends, feel it. And that the Spirit is ever using us. Oh, it's ever using us. Yes, I thought tonight was one thing. That's that joke, right? When you make plans, God laughs. Let's all breathe. If it so moves you, it's always good to breathe. Remember that as we are expanding out, as I pray that you are taking the risk, really taking the risk and allowing your heart to just, embers to just begin to, as you know, I like to say, percolate, to really catch on, to really create the fire. Just in this place of openness and expansion, you remember to ground. It's important to do that too. It's important to never lose our center as we get to create something anew, as Leslie's saying, anew, or in her bio, I guess that was the words she gave us, anew. And just as anything else, actually, this idea about taking a risk tonight and this magic of love. What is this all really about? Yes, it's about your healing. Yes, it's about our connecting. But I'd be remiss if I said, if I glossed over, and if I didn't say that this is about seeing everything anew, hearing everything anew, imagining everything anew. Why does this matter? Well, that's, we could be here all night. At Roll, we say it matters because of the violent systems and the structures that must be toppled down. It matters because of the violence that you've experienced. Let's talk about it more. Let's get real about it. The traumas that you've experienced. It matters because of the pain that you still experience. It matters because of the pain you still experience. I want to say that again. Or the discomfort that you may experience. So when we recognize that there is something that is ineffable that is going on, this magic of love. See, there is a point of ignition. It's a holy moment where we can seize it, take a risk, take the risk, take the invitation. And we can begin to transform. That was actually the topic tonight, was we practice transformative justice, but sticking with this word of transform, recognizing that that is all about, first off, being open to believing that we can transform, and being open that we can heal and transform. See, this is where the anew word from Leslie's introduction is so vital. We can't see in these old ways anymore, whether it's about ourselves or about the world, about our society, about our culture. Oh my gosh, my friends, you think it's a joke? You think it's an accident why we're here right now? Does anybody, do you think to yourself that in fact maybe there is such a thing, that we incarnated at such a time as this? Oh, I said to one of you, I believe it was Lola earlier this week, that it takes so much courage to be bravely alive right now. This is not an accident. It's a gift, and it's hard. It's hard. So in this magic, this place of magic, of love, of transformation, I think I will dovetail some of the tools that may be helpful, and that will be our way to move and groove through the rest of this service. Close us out. So transformative justice, my friends, it is a magical thing, and it is something that is completely you have to see anew. And I want to lift up that we practice transformative justice in ways that we often don't recognize and realize. And one of the things that we can do at Revolution of Love is practice transformative justice every day. So just as a recap to last week, transformative justice is different from the justice system that is in place right now. Recognizing that the justice system that is in place right now is punitive, it is othering, it is not anew, there's nothing magical about it. It is us versus them. It doesn't hold the belief that any and all of us can transform. Remember back to the quote that Jay read from Desmond Tutu, saying that the power of transformation always exists. So we have to literally think of it like the train tracks. We have to literally pull the gears on everything that we've been indoctrinated with, and all of the fears and all of the violence. We have to literally pull that gear and go on a whole new track. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? How we have to be very open. So transformative justice believes that any and all of us can change, that there is always a way. And so think to yourself right now, do you believe, first of all, that you can change, that all of us have the power, have that magic to transform? And be honest. And even if you can't get there tonight, that's okay. You can put that on the altar. You can put that on the altar of discernment and just notice. So let's go a little further. So it holds that energetically. Everyday transformative justice specifically is, it's about connecting. That's why that spirit did move in me where I said, talking about some of you that I know feel really isolated. I know that there's a feeling of being alienated, of being just disconnected from self and others. And so this is with the magic. See, it's really, it's magical of transformative justice is it's saying, no, we are together in this. It is recognizing the divinity. I'm going to add a little bit now. I'm going to add this divinity piece. So like in the book of Genesis, we know that it talks about the Imago Dei. I know I say this a lot, but it's vital for this. It's vital. So it's recognizing not only our own Imago Dei, that you are made in the image of God, or maybe the image of love, but it is recognizing that you and you and you and you and you and you and you. I'm seeing Lola, Lynn, and Ella. I'm seeing Leslie. I'm seeing Trevor. I'm seeing Kimberly. Those are the only names that I can see right now, but all of us here that we have this Imago Dei. So that is a very important starting point, is to not just remember who we are, because that's awfully inflated, isn't it? But it is important to remember that we, in fact, have the opportunity to see everyone in their glory, in their most exalted form. Now, if someone is not acting from that place, and that happens all the time, doesn't it? Where people they're disconnected, then we have to right our ship. We don't need to stay around that. It doesn't mean that we can't still say, well, somewhere in there is still that Imago Dei. There is still that love within. I believe that it's very occluded right now, and I will have to course correct. Remember, I always say that here, boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. We're not doormats. What were the tools? I don't know if I should go into the tools. Something might be telling me to not do that. Let me just tune in and listen to see. Okay. So I want to talk about 3 C's. Number 1, and you can feel free to write these down. Courageously present. Be courageously present. Being courageously present. Number 2, connection. Number 2, connection. Again, connection. And number 3, compassion. It's again, compassion and compassion. Now, these things that I will outline, and not too long, because I really don't want to keep us here too long. These things are very critical when it comes to everyday transformative justice. And everyday transformative justice, let me just be clear one more time, just in case you might not have been here last week. These are the things, my friends, that you know you could do. Say you're worried about a friend. Say you know that maybe it's even someone on this Zoom right now, but they're not doing well. And it's that moment of reckoning. It's that moment of noticing, going, I should reach out. I should do that. And without hesitation, you move and you do it. You connect with them. Say, hello, this is our save a check-in. This is why I say save a check-ins are so important. You have no idea. We have no idea how we can, in fact, positively impact people with this magic of love, with this magic of everyday transformative justice, okay? So that's one way we can practice everyday transformative justice, is by checking in with people. And what I think often happens, using that check-in aspect as an example, is that, especially now, is people are tired. You might be, and it's hard to do that. Or you think, oh, I'll get to it later. Or you think, I don't know what to say. Or maybe you think, God, they're a lot. That person's a lot. Like, I'm sorry, I can't get on the phone, or I can't even reach out. I think what we're seeing a lot of right now, if we're honest, is that people are overwhelmed. And it's very hard to even think about reaching out to check in on someone when we need maybe the check-ins, right? So that is just one practice of transformative justice. A couple others I'll throw out, and then we'll go into the courageous presence and the connection and the compassion. Other examples of everyday transformative justice look like intervening. If you see something happening maybe on the street, some situation where there may be harm that is imminent, it doesn't necessarily take a professional, it takes discernment, and it takes some of these skills that I'm going to lay on you in a moment, but it doesn't necessarily mean that a professional is needed. People have been doing this for a long time. People have been showing up. This is talking about showing up and connecting. So it looks like, yes, intervening in a powerful way, in a way that is grounded. It also is accountability. It's also being accountable to each other, and not just simply like saying a whimsical, like, well, I'm sorry about that I said such and such. No, about really hearing somebody if they say that harmed me, that upset me, and not putting more info at them, but actually just hearing them. And then listening and tuning into them and what they may need. That's another way we can practice everyday transformative justice. It sounds very simple, doesn't it? And maybe some of you already practice these things, but there's a power when we name them, because then we can amplify it and we can make it that much bigger. So let's get to it. So courageously present, being courageously present. This is going to mean that when you wake up in the morning, that you do what we do at the beginning of the service. What do? We took the breath. We took the breath right before the prayer. So you constantly throughout your day, in order to be present, a simple tool to, be present, and to increase your presence is to actually connect with the breath. I'm sure you've heard this before. It's worth repeating. To breathe and to exhale. There's all sorts of things that you can do to even increase this exponentially, to increase your ability to be present with that breath. Notice how I'm doing this with my hands. You can do all sorts of fun things like this. There's no real rule book here. See, we think, we go to these, think about this. Who's done this? Go to workshops and retreats, all the spiritual shit, right? And, I got to learn how to do this. Well, yes, some of that is very good. You do what you need to do. These are just ideas. These are just ideas, okay? You might have some other things that you go, oh yeah, this works for me better, is talking to my guides, but the spiritual practice of this, of being present, is going to mean, yes, taking a breath, slowing down. I'm not really slow right now, but slowing down. You could also set your phone an alarm every hour to check in, tune in, turn up, drop down, tune in, turn up, drop down. Do it every hour. Increase that ability to be present. So many things are always pulling on us, right? So many things. So it happens to me. I'm on social media, and then I'm making a cup of coffee, and then coming to center, being present. And that increases your presence. So number one, be courageously present. Be willing to, again, take a risk so that you can have that magic of love and magic of transformation come in tenfold. Number two, connection. This is one of my favorites. Some of you that know me know that I say names a lot. I say your name in conversation. If you know me personally, you know I like to do this. Ask someone their name. Ask someone their pronouns. Don't assume. Don't assume that you think you know how they like to be called. It's important for us to, in order to see people, to hear them, to create safety, say their name. sounds really simple, but oftentimes people, hey, don't just say, hey, hello, so-and-so. Actually really center the person. Wow, it goes so far. It's like, ooh, I just felt that. I felt that connection. I feel that chord between us. Wow, there's an Imago Dei thing going on here now. See, again, you feel this magic. This is how it happens. This is how the reciprocity begins. So the name, knowing someone's name, knowing their pronouns, not assuming, making eye contact. This is all under connection. Making eye contact. And as Thich Nhat Hanh, there's many other things I could say here, but I'll keep it to this last one. Thich Nhat Hanh, the Vietnamese a Zen monk, bless him, talks about deep listening. Deep listening. This means that you have to kind of come forward. You have to really hear somebody. And if you've ever done any acting, there's a thing that actors do. You listen to the subtext. You listen to what maybe is not being spoken. Listen to all the layers. You're willing to really go in, but not in an invasive way. Not in an invasive way. Just really hear people. See, again, the connection. So the eye contact, the name, it's all increasing safety. It's all increasing the connection and the deep listening and the deep listening. So we have now, very quickly, I've gone over this. So I realized courageous presence through breathing, amongst some other things. Number 2, connection through the name, through the eye contact, body language is another one, some deep listening. And then this is going to be my favorite one, and we'll close here for tonight, and we'll see next week. We're going to have to do more on this. This is so packed. It's compassion. Number 3 is compassion. And so if we are going to practice transformative justice, we need to recognize something about this particular tool that we can utilize for that. Because compassion is not kindness, and compassion is not sympathy, and it's not empathy. Compassion is the highest order. And some people actually conflate empathy and compassion, but see, compassion goes where empathy does not. Compassion goes into a whole nother realm, a whole nother level. It is the PhD program of what it means to be with someone, to hold space for someone, to be in love with someone, to be in love with the beloved that is in them, that is working through them. So it's not just merely holding space and saying, I get you. It's actually we can't get people. We can only really be there with them. We can hear them. We can love them in this highest way. See, compassion, my friends, this is the highest order. And it's going to take a lot for us to shift from even trying to learn kindness. That's okay. We signed up for this. We're here now. And so as I close this out with you all tonight, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your bravery to stay alive. I want to thank you for your commitment to saying yes and showing up, to seeing things anew, especially if it's really, let's say around here, you come to the service and you're hearing things like abolition. Like last week, I hit it hard with abolition. I think it's an amazing thing when we are living through such a time as this, where we have, yes, all these opportunities and all these possibilities, and we continue to even struggle with the yes. So I want you to know tonight when you retire, which may be very soon for some of you, wherever you are in the country or even outside of the country, if you're watching this later, that, and this is not really me saying this, that you are loved from the highest place. And that there is something seeking you that is ineffable. Feel the heart open now. And that this magic that is love is already within you. And that any time you tell yourself a different story, that you must fight to abolish that story. Sink deeply into the magic of love that is calling you and that is calling us. Let us not tarry. Let us rapidly embrace the moments of possibility and transformative justice that are always in front of us. Let us create this revolution of love in ways that we never have. And I say this prayer and I say this blessing and I release this word, knowing that it has come from the highest place and the highest order in the most powerful, bold, humble way. And so it is. Even now. Amen.